Hi, we're the Blevins siblings. I'm Christopher.
And I'm Kaylee.
We're here in Durango, Colorado, our hometown. My dad's cross course is in the back. I'm not sure if you can tell.
And Mom's listening to our conversation through the window over there.
I think she's doing yoga or Pilates up there. But anyways, it's been really nice to be here this time of year. It's really rare that we're here for like a solid month together. You've been doing a lot of high country rides, right?
Yeah, it's been great to be home together and have some time with the whole family, which, as Christopher said, is a very rare occasion these days. So one benefit of COVID and quarantine. But
so we're not here to talk to you about, my mom's yoga or my dad's cross course. We're going to talk to you about OUTRIDE today. Kaylee, you're the best person to explain it. So explain what OUTRIDE does.
Yeah. So OUTRIDE is an organization Christopher and I are both deeply involved with and care tremendously about. And OUTRIDE, our mission is really to better understand how bicycles and riding bikes can improve our way of thinking, feeling, and just how bicycling impacts our brains. And we do that through a lot of different ways. And OUTRIDE also secondarily is working to improve cycling accessibility to communities and kids across the country and hopefully eventually the world. So OUTRIDE has 3 pillars. We have our research pillar, which is furthering that mission of understanding how exercise and cycling helps our brains. Our second pillar is riding for focus, and that is our school-based cycling grant program in which we award grants to middle schools to put cycling programs in their PE classes. And
Let me clip in. How many kids? Like over 30,000 kids are in OUTRIDE riding for focus programs.
Yeah, I think it's more than that at this point. So
like over what,
closer to
150 schools?
50,000 kids. So super exciting. We're growing really fast. And our third pillar, which is our newest pillar, is the OUTRIDE Fund. And the OUTRIDE Fund is a fundraising platform where community initiatives around youth cycling education, youth rider development like NICA, and trail building projects can apply to receive matched funding for these community initiatives. And yeah, we're really excited to keep the growth going.
So if anyone's listening and has a youth cycling initiative in their communities, or you're starting a NICA school, or you're building trails, check out the OUTRIDE Fund because there's 4 cycles a year right now?
Only 2.
Two, okay.
Going forward, we think.
But either way, you can apply for the OUTRIDE Fund and get a matching grant, hopefully, to fund your project.
Or if you know of a middle school
that
could benefit from a riding for focus cycling program in PE class. Not everyone grows up with the privilege and the luck that we had having mountain bike trails in our backyard. And so riding for focus really gives kids a chance to learn how to ride a bike if they've never touched one. So visit our website. Yeah,
and we'll have hopefully some links, and you can message us on Instagram or wherever, and we can direct you to that. What you said about we're so privileged to be in Durango, Colorado, which is the mecca of mountain biking in the U.S., and we could literally leave our house and ride for 10 hours on trails and not do the same trail twice. So that's special, and I think that's why we are so involved in the cycling world. And there's basketball courts in every city. There's not thousands of mountain bike trails in, maybe not. Yeah, we've got a thousand. So I think our mission and OUTRIDE's mission is to increase accessibility, and I've seen what the bike can do, whether it's someone commuting to work or a program for middle schoolers. There's a lot of magic in the bike, and OUTRIDE's trying to bring that to you.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of magic in the bike community too, and that's kind of what we're trying to do through these school programs, and then the extension of OUTRIDE into communities through funding different projects is build those communities around the bike and provide that support system for kids and families that really need it.
Yeah. So OUTRIDE started as a specialized foundation a few years ago.
Yeah, founded by Mike Sinyard, and the original the specialized foundation was rebranded last year in 2019 to OUTRIDE, And since then, we've grown really predominantly through our new OUTRIDE Fund project. But it's been really cool to see ways in which athletes across multiple different disciplines have gotten involved, as well as USA Cycling and organizations like Mental Health America. So we're really trying to bring in like a swath of organizations to hit like our focus on how cycling can improve your mental health, as well as how cycling can build communities through athlete ambassador programs and events at different industry
let's
races and stuff.
I'm just mentally shelving the USAC partnership because we want to talk about that and how exciting that is, like, going forward. But let's talk about, like, when did you start at OUTRIDE? Do you remember, like, what?
Yeah, so I started in October of 2018, and Christopher actually introduced me to the Specialized Foundation when I was still in school. I studied human biology and had a focus on global children's health. And
she went to Stanford, so
okay.
She's a smart one of the fam, but sorry.
It's true.
Okay, I thought you were gonna deny it, but thank you.
But no, it's been an incredible experience, and Christopher was the person that told me about the Specialized Foundation when I was in school, and directed me towards like this incredible organization that's doing research on the brain and that's involved with bicycle and also focusing on kids, and that was really just a huge intersection of passions for me. So it's been a really incredible experience.
And I never really thought that we'd be coworkers, or we'd be coworkers that soon. Kind of coworkers. Like I raced for I raced for Specialized on the World Cup mountain bike scene. So we started. Kaylee started there as she was introduced as Christopher's little sister, which was a big no-no.
That was a huge bummer. That introduction was also made to Mike Sinyard.
Yeah.
So of all the people there, I was introduced as Christopher's little sister. But
now I'm
to
known.
provide a little bit more clarity too, is OUTRIDE was started from Specialized
in
Bicycle
Morgan Hill,
Company
California.
in Morgan Hill, California, and now we're our own nonprofit, we're our own public foundation. So just want to clarify that point. But yes, in some way, Christopher and I were coworkers. Which
and to a lot of people at Specialized, I am now Kaylee's little brother.
It was a great transformation of roles.
But okay, so you were research manager was your position at first, or research?
Yeah. Well, I was hired as an intern, and then I was hired into a full-time role as a research manager. And really, my job in that role was to create more of a foundation for the research pillar, which now involves research on our Riding for Focus programs in the classroom and seeing how our programs are impacting kids' ability to focus and their social relationships, and if that's resulting in any improvement in grades and their mental health overall. And then we also have partners to do more broad research with universities like Stanford and CU Boulder, and we've also worked with UT Chattanooga, University of Wyoming. So that was kind of my job there. And on the side, I obviously have had a long experience in the cycling world.
So I'll say it for you. Kaylee raced professionally, went to under 23 worlds, and then was doing her nerd thing at Stanford. So stopped racing a little bit. And then I always knew she would kind of come back to the bike world in one way or another. I didn't know it'd be so soon.
Did you?
Or well, no, I didn't. But anyways, coming back after school in that role, I think was like so cool for you. And she's going to med school in a year or so.
Well, I have to get in first.
She's got to get into med school, but she will get into med school.
school.
But yeah, I mean, I think it like just combined everything you were interested in.
Yeah. It was a really special way to come back to the bike world in kind of a approach that I was dictating versus years of racing, and which we also appreciate and love because
I'm doing those years.
That's Christopher's.
But I think what Kaylee was getting at is because she raced so much and knew so many athletes, and I know some athletes, and mountain biking is just such a special sport. I mean, cycling is in general, but the mountain bike world especially is so tight knit and small and special. So Kaylee started this program
friends from racing, and Sorry, I interrupted you, Topher.
It's okay. But you were gonna probably talk about the ambassador program, weren't you?
Yes, definitely. So,
go at it.
Oh, thank you for that. So, with kind of this history I had in the cycling world, we wanted to bring on kind of a group of ambassadors and athletes and bike riders who could represent OUTRIDE in a variety of different ways, both through social media, but more of the focus was on having athletes go visit our Riding for Focus programs in our middle schools across the country. And the real goal there was to make cycling more relatable and more of like an accessible sport outside of PE, because a lot of kids are going to see, especially like 12-year-old girls in middle school, are going to see men in the Tour de France wearing their lycra, and maybe say that's not for me. And so,
as great as Peter Sagan is,
yes, as great as he is,
who's a hero in sport, but like if you're a middle school kid who's just like really learning to ride a bike, or
he might not be
but that's
but something to aspire towards.
But that also like shows how special the bike is there's so many different applications of it,
right, and so many ways to be involved as a bike rider. And so we brought on Christopher as an ambassador, and he's really taken that role and run with it. Other individuals included Sarah Sturm, Justin Williams, Crystal Haggard, and plenty of others.
How many roughly are there?
I think we have over or close to between, I think it's around 25 at this point. And this upcoming year, we're actually opening our ambassador program up for an application. And so it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter if you're an elite bike racer or someone who commutes to work on the bike, or you have a special story around it. We want to hear about your relationship with the bike. We've met so many incredible individuals through our ambassador program, and we're really excited to see it grow and hopefully bring OUTRIDE to communities that we haven't touched yet.
And I think like to focus areas that OUTRIDE hasn't touched yet, because it started as the OUTRIDE ADHD, because in all the research is like centered around how the symptoms of ADHD can be alleviated by riding a bike.
Yeah,
but I think
initially that's what we were focused on,
and that's still a big focus. But there's so many things that we can outride, and whether it's physical disability, mental disabilities,
social injustice.
Yeah, I mean, trials in life. Yeah. I had a summer class, not the best grade I've ever gotten, so she was about to mention that. But
we're gonna escape by that one.
Anyways,
but so Christopher, as an ambassador, you have visited schools, you've participated in our social campaigns, you've developed projects on your own. Like, what's been one of your more memorable moments as an ambassador?
Yeah, so after the Snowshoe World Cup last year, the last World Cup of the season in West Virginia, we were flying out of DC, so I was able to make a visit to Martin Luther King Middle School in Georgetown, Maryland. Am I in there? Yeah. And the leader of the OUTRIDE program there is terrific, great guy. And
John Glodick, check out his incredible Instagram stories once his kids are back on the bikes.
You really see how many.
It's awesome to watch the progress of the kids.
Yeah. But this was early on in their program. It was early fall, so like they had just started. And we went out to the tennis courts and just worked on start-stop skills. And for a couple of the kids, this was their first time like really riding a bike. And maybe they'd done it when they were younger, but they had never, like had confidence to do it. So it was really special to like see them build that confidence with it. And like a couple weeks later, I got a big packet of letters from the kids and explaining how stoked they were to ride their bike and to have me there. So that was really special.
It was awesome. It was literally like 30 handwritten thank you notes that John sent from his kids. So that was pretty cool. I think,
as an ambassador, like, yes, I want to tell people about OUTRIDE, but I also want to like help connect the people who can actually do the work. I think with any social initiative, to start that, you have to consider like who's actually doing this work and who can you enable to like use the bike or their program, so like I'm thinking of ways to connect people in my hometown or in San Luis Obispo where I go to school, and the people that are building trails, the people that are working with kids, like how can I involve them with OUTRIDE in some way? And I think that is the best like way to grow cycling from the grassroots, up. Okay, now let's talk about pulling it off the shelf. Let's talk about the USAC membership.
Yeah, so we obviously have some people we know at USA Cycling. Christopher does a little bit of work with them and races with them. And so we had a lot of conversations in this past year about ways we could involve USA Cycling and OUTRIDE. And Christopher, actually, I think it was your idea originally, but we developed a partnership in which USA Cycling is offering free memberships to all of our Riding for Focus kids.
50,000.
So, yeah, that is how many kids we are working with. And so we're really excited that this will give our kids an opportunity to engage in the cycling world beyond their school programs, and hopefully present them with an idea or an option that they hadn't considered in the past, that I could be a bike racer.
Your bike. Yeah.
And so we're really thrilled about this, and hopefully that partnership will only grow, considering this year was a bit of a tumultuous one to roll that out, with most of our kids not riding this spring, and some of them will be on bikes this fall, but
I think having the pipeline from those kids who are riding on the tennis court, just learning to ride their bike, and for a few of them, if that lights a spark and they really want to continue, and OUTRIDE helps them continue, having a pipeline from there to USA Cycling to race your bike is really special, and I have a lot of belief in the way that it can grow like that.
Definitely.
So let's kind of wrap it up with talking about, I want to ask you, because you'll give a good answer. What is kind of the most meaningful part about OUTRIDE? Or what do you think is the most meaningful part about the bike and having kids ride them?
Wow, simple question. So I think the first part of your question, what's one of the more meaningful parts of OUTRIDE, is kind of what I've been coming back to this whole conversation, is giving kids an opportunity to ride a bicycle in a way that hopefully is, comforting and not scary, out on a mountain bike trail for the first time or on the road for the first time, but with their friends in PE class, and developing a positive relationship with the bike. And I think that you and I both have, a lot of friends and memories from the communities we have in cycling, and I think hopefully trying to start finding ways to expanding those communities through OUTRIDE is really special, and ultimately just increasing accessibility to the bike and outdoors, which is traditionally really challenging for minority groups and hasn't been the most welcoming place.
Kids in inner cities, or
kids in inner cities, whatever your racial or ethnic identity, if whatever your LGBTQ identity is, the outdoors hasn't been traditionally the most welcoming place. And so through programs like OUTRIDE, we can hopefully try to create, similar to what Chris was talking about, these tracks for racing bikes, or simply just becoming a participant in the sport or the outdoors. And like I said, whether you're commuting to school or to the grocery store, or you're riding with your kids, or riding with your friends on the trails and coming home like we are right now.
With a cross course in the back.
Or if you're my dad, building a cyclocross course in the backyard, we each have our way of connecting with the bike. And I think that is really what it means to me, is that sense of community. And hopefully it's always, there's always room for improvement, but keeping that welcoming nature going forward. But what about you?
I mean, I could echo everything you said, but I think just the heart of it is that the bike is such a universal experience, and there's so many different applications of the bike, but it's just freedom and exploration and that community. So OUTRIDE's doing a great job of building that. I know a lot of people listening have ideas and can hopefully connect with OUTRIDE and see the work they're doing, and they can help you do your work. And there's a lot of things, we can outride. What will you outride? I had to give him the Uncle Sam finger point there, Okay, we should wrap it up. Kaylee's gonna give me a haircut later. The COVID hair needs to be cut.
Yeah, it's gotten. Yeah, it's like 2 inches on too.
True.
So,
true. Okay. LaCroix cheers.
We'll just be here with our LaCroix.
I built these Adirondack chairs this week. So pretty proud
it
of
was
that.
very exciting. If you guys have questions, concerns, comments, yeah, definitely.
Concerns.
I don't know, concerns about Christopher's haircut. I'm worried about it. Please reach out to us, and if you have questions about ways you can get involved in OUTRIDE, please follow us on Instagram and reach out there. And yeah, we'll be releasing our application for our ambassador program soon. If not, it'll already be out when this video comes out. But yeah, please reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.